Hettinger students and the Chamber are launching a project to boost local businesses and inform travelers about area services. Soon, banners created through this collaboration will line Main Street. Let's take a closer look at how this initiative is taking shape.
Yeah, so it's a business communications class, and in developing this particular class, I wanted to work a little outside the box, and so I wanted to pair a couple with the Chamber and see if that would give us an avenue for using those concepts that we talked about in class. It actually originated through Leah Tanska.
So I kind of took him and the kids around to kind of talk to business owners and, so they can familiarize themselves with who owns the businesses. Well, it was a couple weeks later and he contacted me again and he's like, hey, the kids have a really good idea. They came to me and the kids told me all about their idea for the banners down the highway, which was huge because Dakota Buttes Visitors Council, I was part of that committee. And one of the things they wanted to do was put banners down the highway, but they wanted to do welcome to Hettinger banners types of things. And so when the kids proposed that they wanted to highlight the businesses, it's light bulb went off. This is perfect. We can definitely do this. But the biggest thing was presenting it to the businesses. Is this even something you'd be interested in? They responded amazingly. They were very, very interested. I think 90% of the businesses said yes right away. So
we knew that we wanted to make these banners, so we were kind of messing around on Canva and other stuff like that, Photopea, just messing with stuff that we'd want them to look like. So eventually I found a template on Canva that I really liked, and a couple months later that's the template that we wanted.
We work with so many different people and entities. We work with the ladies at the Chamber and we work with all the different businesses, and so just communicating back and forth.
So what's the hardest part about communicating with these businesses?
You can't always email them because then it's waiting on them to respond, and you can't do that. Sometimes you have to go to them.
What excites you most about seeing your work displayed on the road on Highway 12?
I'd say it gives you a sense of accomplishment, seeing what you made come into that development and being put out there to help advertise for these businesses. Hopefully they get more people.
I'm excited for the colors. I think it's going to really pretty and really cool.
A lot of these businesses that signed up to do this banner project and hop on with the advertising had already done their branding through here. So it's just really streamlined to get with the students and work with them and hook them up with those logos to fill in those gaps and put those on display. The biggest hurdle is working with the dimensions of a vertical banner like that is, someone's logo might look really, really, really good in the little window that is available for that logo. Mm-hmm. And then some of them didn't look so good. And so dialing in that template, so to speak, to have that uniformity across the board and making sure that all the logos looked as good as they possibly could be to represent those businesses was probably the biggest challenge, because not everybody looks nice in the same pair of jeans. We're all built a little different. So
I think it'll bring a pop of color as not only an advertisement for a local business, a tourism driving business, but just to kind of spruce up Highway 12. As someone who had only come to Hettinger to go to the vet clinic, it wasn't obvious to me what Main Street was. And I think a lot of this will help drive traffic to Main Street, to these businesses that people are maybe coming to town for already, but didn't know across town that there's something that they'd be interested in. When they started the project, Jeremy had worked with them to identify there were 1,600 vehicles on average passing through Hettinger on Highway 12. So that's where this project kind of grew out of as well, was just the sheer number of traffic passing through town in a day.
We weren't exactly sure how many businesses would want to participate. Obviously, this was kind of a risk, for any business in town. So the biggest thing was kind of how are we going to price these to where they're affordable for the businesses? Another thing is when to put the banners up, because we do, as of right now, you can see we have harsh winters. Should we put them up in January? Should we put them up in May? And we were also trying to coordinate the schedule.
So the plan is, right now we have Christmas lights that go up late November and come down in January, or late January maybe this year. And so those banners would want to go up as soon as those come down, the Christmas lights. And graduation banners usually go up in April through May, so for a period of 4 to 6 weeks. Those banners would come down, so those would go up in their place. And as soon as those come down, we'd put the business banners back up to make sure we're hitting tourism season, the start of tourism season in the summer. Well, I think one thing that's really nice about this project is the 3 organizations I support are supportive of it. So Dakota Buttes Visitors Council owns the brackets on the light poles on which the banners will hang. Chamber is managing the finances and overall maintenance of the banners, and Adams County Development Corporation has contributed money to assist with any incidentals or hanging costs as we hang them or pull them down in between Christmas lights and graduation banners.
You know, they're doing things that I only dreamed about doing, or they're doing things that when I was in high school I wish I could be doing, that I only got to do when I was in college. I mean, they get to look at this overall project and kind of pat themselves on the back for a job well done and say, like, I made this. We made this happen.
The nice part about a project like this is that these students, they get a grand scope. Yes, this seems like something very simple. You're working with the chamber, you're designing banners that go up on Highway 12. Well, there's a lot more to it than that. You've got a lot of collaborations, you've got a lot of people to work with, and sometimes that's difficult, sometimes that's seamless, but you've got to work through it at every point in time. I hope that they gained a perspective through this project on that in particular.